Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video, we'll be doing a should you pull and not to mention a unit review for Matsuri. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her skill. She's going to be a very interesting character because she is actually going to be diving to the third closest enemy whenever she does her UB. Not to mention she has a stun that hits both the front and back units. So that means an all-around stun, which is absolutely amazing for herself. And then not to mention she also deals moderate physical damage to the enemies around her. So you can see over here on Twitter that this is going to be her banner. She's going to be a 2-star natural unit, and what's interesting is this is going to be her skill rotation. She's going to be dealing that spin damage, and then she's going to be doing a stun. Let's go ahead and jump into some footage so you can see the gameplay for her. All right, so right here we are going to be in JP, and just note this is going to be Yukari, so we can get some TP boost for our Matsuri and see how she works gameplay wise. Honestly, she's probably one of the funnest characters that you could play in the game. I'm talking about Matsuri specifically because of her ability to dive and essentially do a stun. All right, so she's gonna dive right there. She's gonna go for the third most enemy, which is the last enemy in this fight, and then she is stunning everyone. That is really cool. That's pretty much why I think people would be pulling for her, because of her unique mechanics like this. Just note that she is fairly squishy, so she's not going to be someone who you're going to be like, oh my goodness, she's going to stay alive forever. She's going to die pretty quickly as soon as she jumps in the back, so long as she is able to essentially get the enemy's attention away from your main tanks and stuff, and not to mention land a stun, then Matsuri has done her job. The unit that I want to compare Matsuri the most is going to be Tsumigi, and the reason why is because Tsumigi has an AoE sort of pull, and not to mention some decent stun capabilities as well. I think Tsumigi is a little bit better than Matsuri just because Tsumigi can actually survive. The biggest drawback to Matsuri, even though she's going to be a fantastic disruptor, is that she is going to die fairly quickly. But the thing is, she's also one of the best in the entire game, so you have to protect her at all costs, but she's going to be diving in between enemies, landing some stuns, and not to mention doing some significant damage, or at least decent enough damage to make a difference in the fight. So if you're wondering, is she going to be worth a pull? Obviously not. She's going to be a 2-star. She's not going to be recommended for your average player, but if you have some extra divine amulets and you're feeling competitive in the arena section, I feel like she's going to be an interesting character to have, but not a must pull still, because you're probably going to be getting extra copies of her just from like the shops and stuff in the future. We'll show how to get her in the shops after we complete this fight. So as you can see, Matsuri definitely has her own unique utility, and she's definitely worth to look out for because you're going to be seeing some arena losses just because of this character existing. I feel like she's probably going to be viable at the 3-star, 4-star range. Obviously, if you can get her to 5-star, she's going to be an absolute menace that's going to be quite annoying in the arena section. So if you jump here into dungeon coins, you can see she's going to be a dungeon unit, and you can just buy her out right there. And she's going to be, you know, I guess a little bit after Misato, and it's going to be a while before we get her dungeon like actual coins, but just note she is going to be available free from this section, so it really makes you question whether you should be pulling for her on her banner. Now the real reason why you would actually pull for this banner is, let's say you're feeling a little bit impatient and you want Makoto right now, because Makoto is actually going to be rate up on this banner. There is such a thing as rate up being a lie, so even though Makoto is said to be rate up, you might not actually get her. You can see it's 0.7%. Alternatively, you can wait until pre-fest before you actually draw these characters. If you want my humble opinion on everything, I just think Matsuri is going to be a fun unit for arena, and she's going to be interesting, shaking things up in the top 10 for sure. There's definitely going to be wacky builds occurring. So right here we have a fairly interesting team right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put Shori in here because, or Kaori. Fairly Kaori is like recommended unit. It's like these stall teams. If I had Matsuri, it'd be really fun because then she could essentially jump into the back. This team is so tanky that she could essentially go into the back and deal some stuns and stuff and take away like the enemy's essentially attention. But at the same time, Matsuri would be kind of useless for this tank team specifically, mostly because of the fact that no one is going to be able to die from her. All she's going to do is land some stuns, and because she is so squishy, she's probably going to die rather quickly. It's a really interesting dynamic with Matsuri because essentially Matsuri would be really good against mage melt teams or anyone who's running like a Reno comp or a glass cannon sort of team. I don't think she's going to be affecting anything in battle arena because there's too many stall teams, and in stall teams, if you do a stun or anything, it might be sort of effective, but you're not going to be killing anyone. You might disrupt the heal or something, but it's not going to be anything crazy. This is really cool. Just adding Kaori has definitely changed up out this fight for me. Thank you to the suggestions down in the comments. You guys told me to run like a mixed magical and physical comp in order to overcome like the tank meta currently in like the game for Priconne. That has obviously worked out for me, so feel free to cop that idea or do with it what you will. I think Matsuri is going to be shining here in Princess Arena. That seems to be the place that she's actually going to be useful, mostly because she can actually jump into the back against like those mage melt teams and wreak some serious havoc, because people are still running mage melt and it's still quite effective. All right, let's go ahead and run these 3 teams in order to tackle them. We'll actually replace Tomo, our Ninon, where are you? There we go. We'll do that and see how this team fight goes. The reason why I think Matsuri is going to be so good for Princess Arena is because she can definitely disrupt these Ninon teams, because she will go straight for Ninon, land a stun. I don't know if she's going to survive long enough, but that might be enough interruption to do some damage to the team. I don't think though Matsuri is going to be killing anyone, because just know if you're trying to pick up Matsuri so she can be an assassin and kill some units off, I don't think that's her utility. Her main utility is the fact that she can land some stuns and disrupt the enemies and essentially dissolve any mage teams or dissolve any squishy backliners, and that's what she's going to be good at, or just disrupting everyone in general. I think we might be losing this fight right here. Maybe June was not the play. We lost Kokoro right there. June, can you get some heals off and not die? She is going to be 5-star, so it is going to be slightly effective, but we have not taken down anyone, so that's what has me worried. Kuka right here, being able to taunt everyone is going to be the massive play right here, and we lost June. There's no way we're going to be coming back from this. Sort of try in arena, but usually I'm not good at it. I'm really curious though how Matsuri would perform against Ninon teams most of all, because I feel like that's where she would just be better at. She could be sort of effective here as well, because she can essentially stun lock the Monica as well, and Monica is just rather like a squishy unit. The only thing she's really used for is for attack speed, but honestly speaking, I think I'm just gonna have to like wait until Matsuri gets her medals and I 5-star her and use her in arena, which will probably be 4 to 5 months from now, I'm assuming, because it takes a while for any of like the new characters to pop up in like the actual dungeon shops and everything. That's usually like the time frame. Like Misato like released like a long time ago and she's barely appearing in the shop, so it's going to be reliant on this fight whether we can win or not. I don't think it's going to be a very easy match for us though. I think we might be losing, mostly because we're using Miyako as our front tank and we lost our Ninon right here and she was essentially the carry. Maybe we can get some attacks off before Miyako can pretty much do anything. Miyako, stay alive. Nope, we are donezo here. Well, it is what it is. I tried my best. Maybe if I ran like the Mage Melt team on this portion, I would have done a little bit better. Usually, you know, you run Mage Melt against Ninon, but I think I just wasn't supposed to run June and I was supposed to run someone else, and that would have been a little bit better. But let's go ahead and jump into the dungeon shop really quick and show you one of the newest characters. I don't think she was here before, like Misato, right? So I did buy copies of her. Just know getting her to 3-star or 4-star is going to be really nice so that she can provide more heals and stay alive. I highly recommend it, and she's going to be a good dungeon unit in tangent with Rin. In case you're wondering what am I doing with like my 194,000 dungeon coins, that's what I'm doing. And if you're wondering how did I get that, I did get like, you know, the 2x dungeon coin pack long ago, and I've been playing this game since soft launch, so I have an extra like month compared to those who started during launch. Yeah, that's gonna be my review for Matsuri. Not gonna be a must pull, but definitely going to be an interesting character to build, especially once we can get her to 5-star once her shop version comes out, which we showed earlier in JP right here, going to be 800 coins in the dungeon shop specifically. Anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Especially if this video helps you out, I greatly appreciate any comments or suggestions in case you want something to be approved upon, or you want some more details regarding like these, I guess, unit reviews should you pulls for these characters. Once we hit 27,500 subs, we'll be doing that giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day. Good luck if you do decide to pull for Matsuri. I hope everyone gets her in one multi. Thanks so much. Have yourself a fantastic day and see you in the next one.